Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Again, today is rodent cleaning day, which I say every week is the worst day of the week. So I want to start off right by making a video and showing some cool stuff. Um, Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps grow the channel. Yesterday we talked a little bit about thermostats, or a lot about thermostats actually. And the Herpstat 6 is what I have, and I also have a Herpstat Spiderweb 1, and I also have a bunch of VE Vivarium Electronics thermostats, and just kind of talking about the pros and cons of both of them. And there were actually quite a few comments about that, so I wanted to do some follow up on those comments. A lot of them came in throughout the whole day. So first was one of the users was talking about a bad experience they had with Vivarium Electronics and returning it and getting the wrong product back and not getting their cords and probes back. And I mean, that sucks. That turned off that person from ever purchasing a Vivarium Electronics product ever again. I wouldn't, me personally, it would prevent me from buying their products again, because the one time I did have to return something, it was a seamless experience. I didn't have any issues. So, I mean, that's more or less a anecdotal story about just receiving bad customer service one time and it kind of ruining the whole brand for you. And that can happen to anybody with anything. I'm sure everybody has a horror story about every different retailer out there. I'm sure Amazon, Target, somebody ran into the worst customer service person ever. And it could have been a bad week for Vivarium Electronics when that product had to get returned. So I wouldn't necessarily use that as a end-all be-all for everybody else. But definitely that one person who had that bad experience, I completely understand why you would never use them again, because it's a terrible experience to have with any company. The next follow-up was, have I used, the question was, have I used any of the Freedom Breeder thermostats? And I hadn't really followed up a whole lot with them, and what their new product lines are, because I'm really an ARS guy, as you can see by my room here. But my first thought when I did see that months ago, whenever they came out, was, why would I purchase a thermostat from a rodent breeder, and a rack builder, and a snake producer when I can buy a thermostat from a company that makes thermostats? And I hadn't looked into them at all. I hadn't looked into pricing. There was just no reason for me to think about buying that product when, Spider Robotics makes Herpstats, and they make Herpstat Spiderwebs, which you can see information on from the internet anywhere. So I did a little, 5 minutes of research this morning, and I saw that they have 3 products. They have a 1, a 2, and a 4 probe device. The 4 probe device I went to go look at because I wanted to go compare it to the Herpstat version, and they're about the same cost, right? But there's an out of stock warning at the very top of the listing on Freedom Breeder that says this product is no longer being sold due to a defect that we found in the device. If we can fix it, we will relist it. So my initial inclination of, why would I buy a thermostat from a company that doesn't sell thermostats, that doesn't primarily base their business off of thermostats? That's a good reason why. These devices probably aren't very intricate internally, but I know Mythbuster, the guy from Mythbusters, I forgot what his name was now. He still does videos now by himself. He did a video last year that I'm sure a lot of people saw, that was comparing the cheap lightning cables from Apple and the ones that aren't Apple branded, and then comparing them to the Apple brand lightning cables. And the internal circuitry of those cables is like night and day. And it actually makes a huge difference in the data transmission and the recharging rate of those things. And there's also some overload protection in it in the more expensive Apple version versus the cheaper USB knockoffs that you buy from China that are $5 a piece. That's where I would assume the differences in some of these products. I I don't know that for sure. I'm not an electrician. I'm not one of these tech guys that can rip something down and understand the differences between it, product A and product B. But I'm not going to be the person to test out Freedom Breeder's lines of thermostats. I don't know where they come from. I don't want to be the first person on on the ground running with these things. I would personally rather go with the Herpstats. Spider Box has been around. This is what they specialize in doing, is making products like this. They have a very long track record. There are tons and tons of people using them, tons of products sold. That's who I'm sticking with. I'm not going to go try a product that's largely untested. There's no reason to do it, especially because it's the same price as what Herpstat sells it for. If you have an existing product that's at a set price and they have a long track record of being a good product, and somebody new comes into the market at the same price with an untested product, why would you buy the new product? It doesn't make any sense. And it's sort of the same issue with ball pythons, to be honest. I mean, I struggle sometimes with, it pisses me off that I can't sell the same snake that somebody else sells, like Justin sells, for the same price. It's the same snake. I even produced snakes from Justin's stock, from snakes I've bought from him, and I still couldn't sell them for the same price that he sold them for, just because it's Justin. It doesn't make a difference. Snake's just as healthy, has the same genetics, but I can't sell it because it's Justin, right? So if you have a new product, but I also understand that, right? I understand that I'm not Justin yet, and I'll probably never be Justin. But I understand that, and it sucks, but I understand it. So I understand that my prices are going to be a little lower than him for those ball pythons. As far as Freedom Breeder's devices go, I don't know how they're selling them for the same price as an established brand. Typically, you got to come in a little lower. You got to prove that your product works. You got to prove that it's a good product. And unfortunately, those expensive thermostats already don't work. So if you bought one, you found out it didn't work the hard way. Hopefully they pulled it before too many were sold and there were, too many people didn't have to return them or get refunds. But yeah, that's why I'm not usually the first person in, especially on something as important as a thermostat. So I don't know. I don't know if there are any other questions that were on there. It was basically the one issue with the return with Vivarium Electronics, and the one question about whether or not I have used or purchased or seen the Freedom Breeder thermostats. So that answers those two. So let's look at snakes now. We're going to see, I haven't looked in here at all yet today, so I don't know if any of these, I left these males all in here for an extra day because I wasn't seeing that any of them were locked yesterday. There's that one. Let's see here. It's my Ultramels. Again, I can't tell. I did see yesterday they weren't locked, and I don't think they're locked again here. So that stinks. That's my DG Pieds. Nope. Nothing there. The female's in the hide, so they're not jiving. Let's see. DG Clown stuff. Nope. They are on opposite sides of the room. Let's see. Nothing here. Striking out with these pairings this week. Nope. Guy's still sitting in the back. Girl's still sitting in the front. I think they barely moved. Oh, nothing here either. Yeah, all strikes. Let's see. I think I had one more that I missed. Yep. Lightning Pied. How about you? Nope, nothing. Okay. So, what does that mean? Well, either those pairs of snakes don't like each other, or it's just not the week. So what I'll do, since I haven't seen any locks, and that doesn't mean there weren't locks that I didn't see, but I mean, usually when I have locks, they're usually pretty long, and I'm down here so often that I see it happen. If they're locked up for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm in here often enough to see that happening. So what I'll do is I will move them to different females. Move those males to different females right now, and see, like I'll move this OD Pied Het DG male will go to the other Super OD DG Het Pied female that I have. Loki, who's my double Het DG Clown Confusion combo male, will go to one of the other DG Clowns. And I'll just do that. I'll rotate them throughout the whole rack. If I see locks that week, usually I let them finish that lock, and I'll usually put them back. But some of these males have quite a few females to breed, so I might rotate them maybe to one more female during that week to just see what's going on. This female, she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. She is due about a week or so. And you can see she is huge. She's coiled up. Her belly's getting big. I'm hoping this is a big clutch, because this is going to be, I'm going to be looking to make pastel leopard OD blade clowns that are het pied in Pastel MJ. And I actually have, I have a female from a similar pairing from last year. Let's see. We'll get her out of here. This is one of my holdbacks. I actually have two females like this. They're honestly one of the coolest. But it came from a little bit of a different pairing. Same male, different female. I think the female is just a pastel. So, I mean, I think this is probably an OD blade pastel. Obviously clown. This is a het pied and Pastel MJ. So I'm looking to make more of these with leopard in it. These are really cool looking. Very unique snakes, very unique pattern, very pretty colors. As you can see, she's about 1,000 grams. And in this combo, look at that, pastel doesn't suck. Look at her head there. Her head looks really cool. So pastel worked. This is one of those females where she was super pastel. So I didn't have very many clown females last year, but it worked out because this pairing was perfect for that. I had no idea that when I combined a OD blade and a super pastel clown, that this was going to come out of it. And it's just a banger of a snake. She looks awesome still as an adult. Pretty much an adult. She's 1,000 grams. So, I mean, look at the sides. Look how bright that color is. The pastel doesn't whack out the stripe too much. Her head still looks really cool. It doesn't have that crazy washed out pastel look. So I have two of those. She's just the bigger of the two. Awesome looking snakes. So I'm looking to make more of that with leopard in it, in that combo. Again, that male, because I proved out that he was het MJ last year, is basically getting as much work as he can handle. I'm probably going to be very heavy on clown pied stuff this year because of him, and I have another clown pied male that I'm breeding. And hopefully I make a lot more double visuals, because I only produced one last year that out of all I think I had like 18 eggs or 20 eggs, and my odds should have been like 25% or so, and I hit one out of all those eggs. So I had crappy odds, but this year my odds will be better. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at with all that stuff. That'll end today's video. Tomorrow's Friday, so it'll be the last one of the week. I probably am going to record that today or later today, right after this one, so I won't be able to answer your questions from this video, but on Monday I will be. So, if you have any comments or questions, please listen down below, and we'll see you next time.